All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got a great one for you guys. We are talking about the national headlines, national headlines with Donald Trump. This guy, I love this guy. He is putting his foot down on law and order, and that's what it takes. That is what it takes to be a good president. No matter who who does not like what you have to say, you have to have those tough consequences. You have to have those tough conversations, and you have to do things that people might not like. And this is one of the things. And to me personally, I love it. I have no idea why anybody would want to protest Donald Trump right now when all he's trying to do is protect DC. I don't understand that. We're gonna get into some of these clips right now, but the funny thing is that when you have a guy like this, when he's literally trying to crack down on the border, we've seen over the last 4 years under Biden and Kamala, 10 million, if not more, illegal immigrants flooded the border. Now, we all know why. We all know why they did that. They were trying to get them for votes. That's why they were trying to get rid of the voter ID and all this other stuff. We know that's what was happening, okay? The problem is that now when Donald Trump says, hey, hold on, we got way too many people coming over here. We have to crack down. We got to shut the border. These illegals are bringing in drugs and crime, and they're sexually assaulting all these people. We have to stop this. Now it's wait, hold on. Now you have people that are protesting ICE, protesting Tom Heumann, protesting Kristi Noem, protesting the administration, which why wouldn't you protest Biden and Harris when 10 million people were flooding across the country? So that was okay. Nobody protested then. But when you have Donald Trump sending these people back to where they came from, now all of a sudden it's a problem. It is insane to me that the Democratic establishment, the Democratic constituents don't want to be safe. And they want to blame it on, well, they're not doing crime. They're just good, hardworking people. Sure, that's fine. We know, I'm sure everybody knows some good, hardworking people, but that doesn't mean we just skip the line. At me personally, I'm for immigration. I have no problem with immigration, but at the same time, it needs to be controlled. You just can't let millions and millions of people come over here without getting vetted. That doesn't make any sense. So Donald Trump over the last 6 months has took amazing stride with a great administration to stop this. Now he's seeing the DC crime, and we're actually going to get into DC because what's funny is, as tough as he's going to be on DC and deploying 800 National Guard members, the statistics are kind of revealing here because they seem to be down in a lot of key areas. But we're going to talk about the guy that was suspended for fudging the numbers. We're going to talk about that a little later. So without further ado, Donald Trump has activated a National Guard in DC. Crime is out of control. It's out of control in this country. And we don't talk about it. We can't literally talk about the crime that's in the Black community. We can't talk about things that are affecting us every single day because it's called racist. We're called racist for whatever reason. And yet, every single time Donald Trump or the administration or the police or ICE, whatever, tries to crack down on crime, we're called, racist, Gestapo, all these names that doesn't make any sense. So I'm glad that Donald Trump has finally put a stop to this. We can no longer allow law and order and just people coming over here destroying our country. We're not trying to be UK. We're not trying to be Canada. We're not trying to be all these other places that have just allowed all these people to come over to our great country. Canada's not even Canada anymore. Let's just be honest here. Canada is no longer Canada. Ireland is no longer Ireland. You heard Conor McGregor talk about there was a city that was 96% Irish. There's one city in Ireland, and now it's 36% because the Muslims have come over and essentially taken over. And this is what happens when when you're not tough on crime. And Donald Trump has said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We are going to hold everybody accountable. We're not just going to be, we can't just have a country where we don't arrest people that shoplift. You see it. We can't even go to Target. We can't go to Walgreens. We can't go to CVS. We can't go anywhere without everything being locked up. It's just crazy. Everything is insane right now. I can't go to Walgreens without getting a cashier to unlock a $4 stick of deodorant. The crime in this, and it's not just DC, it's all over the place, but it's mostly in Democratic cities because Democratic cities, especially like AOC, when you have people like AOC sitting there and saying that, look, it's okay to commit crime. It's okay to commit crime if you're poor. If you really need it, these billionaires, don't worry about it. These billionaires got insurance. Don't worry about it. Just steal and steal and steal. I mean, there was even one sick, disgusting policy in California. They didn't even do anything unless it was like over $1,000, which is mind blowing. You know, the business owners work hard for that, you know, and they want a return on that. And you just allow people to steal is what this country has come to. So now we have to put our foot down. Donald Trump has to put his foot down with this administration, with the police, all across the country and say enough is enough. So let's get to this Donald Trump announcement because this is amazing.
But we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets.
That is not even an exaggeration. People are getting mugged. People are getting shot. You can't even walk at night. You can't do anything without having to worry about crime in some of these streets. It's insane, especially, you know, D.C., Birmingham, Memphis, Chicago. Some of these places are so crime ridden that you can't even leave your house. So what do you do? I mean, Trump has to take this action. He has to take this action and make sure that people are safe. Even like you just said, a lot of people are liberals. A lot of people are liberals, but he doesn't care about that because he is the president of everybody. So even if you don't vote for him, your safety is still his main concern. I mean, what better acknowledgement of how Trump wants to make sure that everybody is safe than by deploying the National Guard?
You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being...
Wait, hold on. Let's just hear what he just said. Higher than Bogota, Colombia. The cartel, so much cocaine over there, and D.C. has a higher crime rate.
The worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because it just goes back 25 years. Can't be worse. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes to our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually.
I don't know if that's an accurate statistic. If that is actually true, 0 people coming across the border in 3 months, I mean, that is absolutely insane. Because we saw thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, coming over every single day under Biden and Kamala. So if that stat is true, wow, what an accomplishment. What an accomplishment to have 0 people come over the last 3 months.
And they actually said 0 for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, you know, when you take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is Okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. D.C.
This is what it takes to be a great president. You know, he's bringing out statistics. He's bringing out the evidence. He's saying, hey, look, we have over here in D.C. a higher crime rate than a cartel city, a cartel town, which is crazy. So why don't the Democrats care? Why do they just allow crime to happen, and all of a sudden they allow all this crime to happen? Now Donald Trump has to come over here and put a stop to it. And when he tries to put a stop to it, they protest. I mean, look at the mayor's reaction. The mayor's reaction was just, it was kind of like
pre-K program starting at age 3. We have a tremendous public transportation system, and we have hardworking people here who are raising families, starting businesses, and hiring workers. So it's very important to me that for all who live here and visit here, just know how beautiful our city is and how proud we are of all that we've accomplished here. We're unique.
This is red herring right here. We're talking about crime. We don't want to talk about taxpayers. Talk about the crime that's going on in your city.
Unique in other ways as well. Though we pay taxes, in fact, we pay more than most states.
What are you talking about right now? Get to the point.
Per capita. We're not a state. We don't control the DC National Guard. We don't have senators or full autonomy. Limited home rule gives the federal government the ability to intrude on our autonomy in many ways. I've said before, and I'll repeat, that I believe that the president's view of DC is shaped by his COVID era experience during his first term. And it is true that those were more challenging times related to some issues. It is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but we worked quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why.
Yeah, I'm calling bullcrap on that. Let's just get into the stats, okay? And this is why this person got suspended. Violent crime. As of 2025, August 12th, 1,588 incidents. Violent crime. They say that's down 26%. Homicides. So far, you had 100. Down 11%. Assault with a dangerous weapon. 534. Down 20%. There's no way every single statistic crime category you're down. There's no way. Robbery, 899. Property crime, 14,152 in the year 2025. Aggravated assault this year, 66 in DC. That's 9, roughly 10 per every 100,000. Gun assaults, 41 incidents, about 6 per every 100,000. Sexual assault, 7. But this is what I'm saying. You have a Commander Michael Pulliam. Okay, those numbers came out, and supposedly, according to the Democrats, the crime in this city has gone down. Look at the stats: robbery, sexual assault, all this stuff has gone down supposedly. But Commander Michael Pulliam, who oversaw the 3rd district, was placed on paid administrative leave in mid-May 25. This came about a week after he filed an EEO complaint against an assistant chief. This suspension is linked to allegations that Pulliam manipulated crime statistics. There we go. Now we understand why every single category is down, supposedly, according to the Democrats. We know that crime in D.C. is skyrocketed, but according to D.C., Michael Pulliam was just suspended for fudging the numbers. fudging the numbers. This is proof right here that he fudged the numbers. And then you have the Fraternal Order of Police has voiced concerns that the MPD in Washington, D.C. are directing their police officers to underreport the crime numbers. Underreport the crime. This is what's going on right now in D.C. So you would ask yourself, wait, why is everything down supposedly? Oh, but now when you look at it, this guy just got suspended for fudging the number. But of course, this mayor is not going to talk about it. Of course not. But you have crazy Maxine Waters. Of course, she's over here. Another black woman come over here talking about Donald Trump. This is what I don't understand. When he is trying to protect America, all of a sudden he's Gestapo. I mean, look. This woman over here, it drives me crazy.
Focus those cameras on everything that's going on, because this president is trying to lead us into what could be called a civil war.
Yeah, clearly Maxine Waters' wig is really starting to have an impact on her brain. Meanwhile,
Civil war, she says. A civil war. Imagine Donald Trump getting on stage and saying, hey, look, I know you guys didn't vote for me. I know a lot of people in this room, a lot of people in D.C. did not vote for me, but you guys have a crime problem. I'm going to make sure that you guys are safe so that you can walk your dog in the middle of the night. You can go to your car and not worry about getting jumped and getting robbed and all this stuff. And they say, we don't want you here, Donald. This is crazy to me. It's absolutely insane.
Democrat strategist Jim Kessler had a peculiar take.
If people are afraid to come to D.C., go to Disney World, get fat, eat French fries. I don't care. I've lived here 37 years. I am not afraid.
What? Don't worry about crime. Nothing to see here. Go to Disney, get fat. That's going to solve all the problems. Good one, Jim. And now to the Washington, D.C. protests, or should I say funeral procession?
D.C. is our home. You can have it wrong. D.C. is our home. You can.
Does anybody not work anymore? How do you have all these people on the street? All these people.
Is that not the most tragic and dull-looking protest you have ever seen? D.C. is our home. You can't have it, Trump. I mean, all of this just to stop the crime cleanup.
D.C. is our home. They literally have a sign that says, Trump, we don't want you here, when he's trying to protect the city.
It's so tragic. The organisers don't even know what the heck they're trying to say.
When we say we won't go, that means we're not going to those men.
Ghetto black woman. Here we go. I knew this was coming. You got to put the person over here that doesn't know how to speak up in front of. Here we go.
Into their prisons and enslavement. We won't go into their ICE, what do you call his beautiful centers that he got. We won't go to where alligators live.
What the hell is a beautiful center? Wait, guys, if you're going to put a spokesperson on there, you guys got to make sure that she actually knows what she's talking about. You got to go over points, point by point. Make sure you touch on this, make sure you touch on that. Not just, hey, speak. And she just speaks this nonsense.
Hell no, we won't go.
Yeah, you could really see that moment tick over, can't you, in her head? She's trying her hardest. She's trying her hardest, but she's got absolutely no clue whatsoever what she's on about. In fact, it is so bad, the protesters even turned on each other.
Leave here! Leave here! Leave here! Leave here! Leave
I don't even seeing stuff like that. People are fighting in the middle of the street, by the way. Fighting in the middle of the street. You guys are fighting each other instead of trying to fight the criminals that are overtaking your street. You guys have gotten together and have said, Donald Trump, we don't want you in here anymore. Imagine pushback from the Democratic Party when you have a person trying to stop crime in your city, which we know these numbers are not accurate because this guy, Michael Pullman, got suspended for trying to fudge the numbers. We know that's not accurate. But imagine What more can you do as first of all, Donald Trump is one of the greatest presidents we've ever had, to literally sit there and say, I know you guys aren't going to like me, but I still care about your safety. This is what we're going to do. And imagine protesting for more safety. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Who protests when your president, your leader wants you to be safe? Nah, we don't want it. Well, guys, I want to make sure that you guys aren't getting robbed and killed. Nah, we're good. What? So the Democratic Party has a lot to figure out right now, because seeing losers like this, I mean, let's look one more time. The Democrats got to get their stuff together. Instead of protesting Donald Trump, who's trying to save America, protest the criminals. Have some backbone and say, look, we don't want the criminals anymore. We want the police to arrest these people. I want to walk my dog in the middle of the night. I want to be able to go to my car at 10 o'clock and not worry about getting carjacked or robbed or shot. So thank you, Donald Trump, for protecting us and keeping America safe. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here.